Hello, fellow Earthlings, and welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. I think this card is making me think of Earthlings. So today's an interesting kind of reading. I'll give you a little backstory. If you're not interested, just skip ahead to the timestamps. But I kept seeing this message of what if things suddenly improve. Like, for instance, I had seen a subliminal thumbnail. I don't remember what it was now, or I would link it, but it was like just on YouTube as I was working or whatever, and it said everything suddenly gets better. That's what the subliminal was for. Then I saw like a Reiki video where it said things suddenly improve or something, and I started to think about this, and I thought like something about that phrasing. It just feels enlivening to read. Like it felt so like spring energy, like fresh, exciting, things suddenly improve, everything suddenly gets better. Now, it doesn't have to mean that there's something wrong in your life because we're always expanding and improving and evolving. That's just the nature of the human soul and experience. So it could be that you're very happy with where you are, or there could be that there's something on your mind or that's kind of like been bothering you. Whichever the case, I'd like to explore the timelines of the energy that presents itself here, of if things suddenly improved, things suddenly get better, what would that look like? And sometimes when we listen to the words, even if we don't feel we're in that space yet energetically, it can activate certain things. It can get us excited, which can create the energy around that timeline. It can give us hope. It can create a lot of positive emotional outcomes and positive expectations that can be very beneficial for moving on to the timeline that would align with your preferred outcome. Help you to shift onto that timeline if that's what you're looking for. So that's what we're going to do in this reading. Pile 1, and I've purposely chosen vague phrases on the cards because I want to leave it very open so that we don't know what the timelines are and the situations until we get into the group. But I would encourage you to look at the symbols and see which imagery or symbol you're drawn to, or the phrase, whatever you feel is resonating for you. So for pile 1, there's this I Embrace the All card with this imagery here, and I actually chose matching chakra stones. So this is for the heart chakra for pile 1. Pile 2 is the I Follow My Inner Guidance card with the third eye chakra crystal. Pile 3 is I Live in Truth with this keyhole symbol here and the solar plexus chakra. And pile 4 is I Create Harmony with the green lady or individual and the base chakra, root chakra. So I'm really excited to start this reading. Take your time to tune into the pile or piles you're drawn to, and then I will see you in your group. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading about what would it look like or how would it feel if things suddenly got better in your world. And again, not to say that anything's wrong in your world. There might be something bothering you. You may be very happy with where you are. But just what would that timeline look like if everything kind of suddenly improved or elevated or started to shift into more of what you prefer? Let's explore that timeline and what that would look like. Let's do... I feel tempted to do a quick energy check-in just because that's sometimes what I do to make sure that you're in the right place, but I keep being guided away from doing that in this particular reading, so I'm going to respect that intuitive nudge, probably because this is such a fresh energy and concept and theme that we're exploring. They don't want to introduce any, past or kind of too rigid things that you're currently dealing with because it may affect the rest of the reading. So I'm just going to respect that and start fresh, and you can feel if it resonates for you or not regarding your current situation. I really feel called to get this deck. So we're going to start with this. So let's explore, what if things suddenly got better for you? What would that look like, feel like? What insights, clarity can we provide regarding that? Possible timelines, possible outcomes, solutions. Ooh, this one I'm taking, it kind of jumped in place. In space, I want to say. Okay, so the first card that came out was Milk and Honey. Ooh, okay. If things suddenly improved, it would be very abundant, prosperous time for you, very successful. We have the rainbow on the card. We have the elephant with its trunk up, which I believe is a symbol of good fortune or good luck or health and wellness and vitality. We have honey and milk, which can be symbols of abundance, of fulfillment. A lovely viewer left a comment about what they represent, and at this time I cannot recall it, but if you're watching, thank you for that. I think it was about emotional fulfillment and abundance. But typically this card, when I pull it, I get that message of resources or things that can be considered luxuries, because milk and honey can be considered luxuries or like a treat, and kind of delighting in these luxuries of life. But I also am hearing emotional fulfillment, which is what I believe that viewer brought up. Oh, and you got 39, new life. First, can I say how much I love the alignment of your first few cards? We're literally doing a reading about exploring things suddenly get better, things suddenly improve, and you got a card about abundance and fulfillment, and you got a card about, and basically an auspicious card about good fortune. And then you got this beautiful card with this fairy stretching up with the rays of sun, card 39, saying new life. So I just love that this figure's cracking out of this shell here and kind of like waking up. It really does give that springtime vibe that I talked about in the intro, where spring can feel like freshness and newness and birthing new things and new ideas and concepts. Where I am in the northern hemisphere, it's winter right now, and I love when spring comes around. The snow melts, you can hear the birds, you can smell the earth blooming. It just gives you that what if things suddenly improved feeling. Not that I don't love winter. I actually do love winter. It's just, there's something about spring that does feel like things suddenly got better. There's flowers, the sun's shining. So I really love this for you. So if this was resonating so far, you're definitely in the right place. Let's get this deck. For pile one, what would it look like if things suddenly improved? Journey flipping out there, card 2. Maybe traveling, going on a trip, pursuing some sort of inner calling that you have that maybe you don't feel like you have the resources for right now. I'm loving this reading. This reading feels like I'm in a warm bath with a cup of tea or my favorite beverage, reading a book, and I'm treating myself nice, and I'm nurturing myself, and I'm feeling taken care of. I'm feeling not hurried. I'm feeling excited. Like maybe I feel like I'm in a warm bath and I'm leaving to go on a trip the next day, and my bags are packed, and I'm excited, and I feel like everything's lined up exactly how I want it. Not in like a controlling way, but in a just way of preference, where you're feeling good about your place in the world. You're feeling good about the plans that are upcoming. You feel expansive, excited, hopeful, positive, limitless, even I'm hearing. Yin yang or yin yang, card 22. Now you have a 2 coming out with a 22. So 222 could be an angel number, or 22 could be cards you're seeing. That could be your birthday, February 22nd, or your age. So the journey card, well, I already talked about it, so we'll move on. We'll get to it more. But with the yin yang coming out, this balance in your world, the moon and the sun, action and relaxing. Exactly kind of what I just described, with feeling like you have a place and a space in your routine to self-soothe, to self-nurture, but then it fuels you and empowers you to take action, to have clarity on your next move. So you're not feeling like too much in either world. You're feeling perfectly balanced in those two feminine, masculine energies, not genders, just the energy of feminine allowing, receiving, enjoying, and masculine doing, achieving, succeeding, moving towards something. Really, really beautiful. Let's get back to the journey card now. So this figure here has some bags packed. There's signs here. She's on a bridge, he or she. So like I said, this could be a physical journey. You could be traveling, vacation. This could be a trip you've been wanting to take, moving somewhere, moving house, moving locations, or this could be an emotional journey with this new life. Maybe you're leaving an old kind of way of life, moving into a new life, where things are looking up, where you're feeling more yourself, where you're feeling more harmonious within your own inner worlds and energies. So far, a beautiful exploration of this future timeline. Now, when we say future, this could be as soon as now. I take future from any time from the now, because there really only is the now. So it doesn't mean that this has to be like next year or anything. You can start activating this. And if you're drawn to the reading, that means you're aligned with the energies, which means you're probably already well on your way to exploring these timelines and activating these energies. This can kind of just give you like a fuller peek into, like a preview at the beginning of a movie. I'm seeing a preview of what that timeline would look like, to kind of get you excited and know if it's feels right, if it's something that you want to explore. More for pile 1, please. Things suddenly get better in their world. And what does that look like? And what guidance might they need, or insights about this? If there's anything they need to do or know to move on to that timeline more fully. Oh, so there's a song coming through. It came through right at the beginning and I started talking and I forgot it. Now what is this? It's like it has, the melody goes dun 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 dun. My reality, boom 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 boom. That's all I'm getting. I'm not sure if you can figure out what that is from my weird little hum of that. Something that's like, in my reality. I feel like that's meshing two songs together, because I'm also hearing, my reality, nobody's watching me, or something. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. See if it comes out more, but if you figured out what that is and you want to comment, feel free. Nobody's watching me. That's what I keep hearing. Dun, 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 dun. It kind of sounds like an xylophone, like ding, 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 ding. If that helps anyone figure out that song. Okay. Oh, these two want to come. This. How many's here? How many's here? Wow. Okay. A lot. Okay, a lot. I like a lot for you. Okay, so you got Moon Goddess with higher power coming out. I love that phrase, Moon Goddess. Oh, Moon in detriment, cut your losses. That could be very powerful for if you are kind of navigating something like maybe a separation or a divorce, or trying to leave a toxic situation, or relationships, or, you know, family dynamics or something. Oh, Moon called, meant to be. I love that. Talk to the moon, communicate. I saw this in my mind's eye yesterday. I saw this, communicate. So you could have Virgo or Gemini in your chart, which are both ruled by Mercury. That's just coming up. Oh, and you have Yin moon. I'm going to put that right under the Yin card with accept help. Okay, so this timeline where everything suddenly gets better, what this looks like is you relying on and becoming even more aligned, because I sense that you already are, with your higher self, with a higher power, surrendering to the all that is, moving in sync with the universal flow. There's definitely a trust there, a trust that there's a higher power involved, that there's things that maybe you can't see moving into place. There might be some whys about things or some hows that you have come up. But as things suddenly get better, you start to rely and trust more on this higher power. You move into this kind of goddess, moon goddess energy, god or goddess energy, where you feel like you're comfortable in the unknown, because the moon is the yin. The moon is the dimmer aspects, the unseen, the kind of shadowy elements of life where we can't clearly see the next step. But you're comfortable in that, and you feel aligned with that, and you feel trusting in that, where you don't need to know every detail. You don't need to know the how. You just know that you feel called to this, you feel aligned with this, and you're going to the best of your ability, move towards it. With the moon in detriment with the cut your losses, from that I'm getting pretty much what it says, that there may be something if you're trying to shift careers, or maybe you're like, oh, if I shift careers, I'm going to lose this, I don't know how things are in Canada. It would be like RRSP top up or something. I think it's in the States, you guys have like 401ks or something, but some sort of retirement, they're just showing me that. Or maybe it's like you have like a business relationship with someone, but you're moving out of harmony with it. You can tell you're being called somewhere else, but you feel like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to have to start up this leg of the business on my own, and that's going to take some work. But it's kind of like, just take that, what's perceived as a loss or a hit, or like a, moving backwards in order to start fresh. I understand this energy because I just moved house, and I really loved the old house, but this new location really is an upgrade. And my only hesitation was I didn't want to move again because I'd only been there a year and a half. I really didn't have any issues, with it. There were just a few minor things in terms of noise that they were creating because they were starting construction. And I just felt like, oh, I really don't want to pack everything. It was during Christmas. I was like, I really don't want to pack everything during Christmas. That's my favorite season. I just wanted to relax and enjoy the time. But then I just kept getting that feeling of like, just cut your losses, do it, take the hit, move it, pay the couple $100 for the moving truck, get some friends to help, shift everything over, and in a week you'll be, in the new place. It's that kind of feeling of sometimes you have to just accept and be open to that there may be some temporary discomfort or extra work in order for a larger gain. So I definitely feel like that energy's there. We have this as meant to be. So there's something that's kind of destined that I believe that you're aware of. Either you feel called to a place, or there's a relationship that is for you, or there's a life's purpose that's calling you, or there's something that you want in your life to manifest that you're like, I know this is meant to be. And I feel like you're going to have this feeling of this was meant to be, like this figure here with their arms out, just being like, I knew it. I'm accepting it. I'm receiving it. I appreciate it. I'm embracing it. Yeah, I embrace the all is your main card there. Now, the other things coming up here kind of relate here with talk to the moon, communicate, and accept help. I think things suddenly improve because maybe you realize or come to the okay, I just said that twice. Come to the realization and you realize that there's some things that need to be communicated. I remember I was watching a Bashar, Bashar's like, he channels, I don't know exactly the dimension that he's channeling, whatever, but occasionally I'll watch him just because I think he's got such an interesting way of putting things. And something came up on my feed and I remember clicking on it, and it was someone saying like, I can't remember what they were talking about, but they were saying something like being evicted from their home or something, or he gave that example. And it seemed like such a 3D example for this, like, channeled extraterrestrial message to come through. But he was basically making the point that there's and it stuck with me with this communicate. And I've actually been integrating this into my own life. He was saying in our human experience, there's so much that could be solved or healed or brought back into alignment or harmony simply by communicating. And he was giving the example of someone saying, I'm going to be evicted from my home. I can't make the rent payments. And he said, for example, if you even just went to that landlord and just said to them, listen, I respect you. I love living here. I'd love to be here. I'm in a tight spot. I went through this, some health concerns, or this happened with my job. Is there any way you would work with me on this, that we could make a payment plan, or I could, until I get back on my feet? And he was saying you would be shocked and surprised by how many people are willing to work with you on things but we just assume and we close up. We put up walls, we hide the information either out of embarrassment, of course, or like we feel less than, or we don't want to bother. And he's saying, if you approach these situations with authenticity, truth, and openness, you would be surprised how many people are willing to help, and it gives them a sense of purpose. And I just remember that stuck with me about in my own life too, how many things I don't communicate. I make assumptions, maybe not right now, but in my past, about family or friends or relationships or work, where I'm like, yeah, I could have just said, hey, like, when you get in those dynamics with your friends, like I'm a Virgo and that card, Hermit card 9, is very accurate for me. I process a lot of things internally. I need a lot of alone time, especially for what I do for my work. And I used to not say it, like I used to not communicate that, and it would bother a lot of my friends and family, right? Because they would be, or if I was seeing someone at the time and they would be like, why do you pull away? We don't hear from you, you don't reply back, or you do, but it doesn't feel, it's not your usual self. Is everything okay? And so I realized, why don't I just communicate that to them? And I started to just say that. I started to just say, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't have a lot of bandwidth for this conversation. My social battery's on low. I'm really just feeling inwards. I'm doing a lot of reflecting. I just wanted to let you know in case you feel like I'm pulling away. It's nothing to do with us. I love you. I'll be back soon, but if I'm quiet this week, that's why. And that has solved and soothed so many, misunderstandings. So if there's something in your life where that relates to, that's a message coming up for you, as well as this accept help card, which could be part of that, where sometimes there's help all around us. I can feel like that could be triggering for people. So let me rephrase that. There are cases where there is help or support available, even if it's not in the 3D, even if we're talking in the spirit realm, which of course would be the most powerful realm, with higher forces and divine intervention and prayer, or whatever you personally believe in. And because we have free will here, so there does have to be some, it doesn't even have to be a request, or it's not like you're begging or anything like this. It's really that you're just asserting and intending something and claiming it. But however you resonate with that, asking for help if there is something that you want to achieve that you're not quite certain how to do it. Maybe you just need information. Maybe you need to be pointed in the right direction. Maybe you need resources. Maybe you need temporary support or something. But because the card's coming up, that's why I'm bringing it up. If that's not you and you feel like you don't need any help on anything, then that's completely fine too. But if there is something in your world, the cards are indicating that this improvement would look like you opening up, allowing, receiving with this yin. It literally says yin moon. And allowing people to help, someone, you have your hands full of groceries and someone wants to open the door for you, allowing that and being like, oh, perfect timing. Look how in alignment I am. Someone opened the door for me, and starting to see the ways that the universe is supporting you on your path. So let's see if there's anything else here, because I really like how this is unfolding in this timeline for you. For pile 1, any more information about things suddenly getting better, what that looks like? For pile 1, things suddenly improve and get better. What does that look like for them? What guidance do we need regarding that shift? That deck is not yielding anything. I also had this one in my head, so let's shift to this one with the Inner Temple deck. Yeah, 22 was just highlighted again for me there. This balance, this kind of connection. I am getting some relationship messages there, if that's your question. This like puzzle pieces fitting together. Could be that you meet someone, or it could be that something is healed within a relationship that you're asking about. Could be that you're very opposite and you find a way to become harmonious in this new timeline and to support each other with the things that you can offer and the things that they can offer. Oh, Chamber of Healing. Oh, there's two here. I thought it was just one. Chamber of Healing. I had a sense. That's why I went for the Healing Waters deck, because I was seeing the phrase healing. So that's what I chose. Oh, I love this. Okay. And you got a card that says let go or hold on. It's one of these cards that has two sides, and the let go card came up. I'm going to read both of these. Let me just check if everything's in the frame. Okay. Let's shift this over so that I can get these two in. Oh, nobody's watching me. My anxiety. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I'm hearing. Boom, 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 boom. If I can figure out the song, I will link it below your timestamp in the description box. Let me write that down for you. Pile 1 song, question mark. Nice, everything in the frame. Jolly good. Jolly good. It's one of you from like Essex, I'm hearing, or Wales. Who would say that? I don't do you guys say jolly good? I'm hearing someone say that. Do you have an ancestor who might say that? That just came right into the reading. Chamber of Healing. Chamber of Healing reads, healing is always happening. For to heal is to change, and you're always changing, always returning to wholeness. Wholeness isn't a static state, as we're always growing and transforming. It's nature's way, and you're part of nature. When this card appears, it's acknowledging you're in a deeper stage of healing, and it's okay to ask for help. It says that. You have this accept help card. It's okay to ask for help and slow down to let healing happen. Wow. This card comes with a tender message to trust your innate ability to heal through the changing seasons of your life. Stop seeing yourself as broken, or to think of healing, in quotes, as something you need to do before you can truly live. Yeah, that's a powerful message. This is the first time I've read this card, I think. This is sounding like new information to me, but however, I have channeled that information before. I don't know why I failed to note that. For to heal is to change, evolve, and grow. Healing can be a slow, steady process. It's complex, not linear. It takes as long as it takes. However, like all things in nature, there's a mysterious intelligence to it. And if we trust it and let the once vibrant petals fall to the earth, cut back what's no longer thriving, yeah, with the let it go and cut your losses. I just realized you have two cards that say, let something go. Whatever that is for you. It could be a mental, paradigm, a construct, a memory, a thought, a heaviness, an expectation, an actual thing like a career, a person, place, or thing, a relationship. But if you cut back what's no longer thriving, protect the buds from being pried open too early, we too may find ourselves in a second bloom, and fruit will follow. So second bloom really relates to this, because you have new life, and we talked about releasing something and moving into something new. If you didn't see yourself as unhealed or broken, what would you do? If you didn't see yourself as unhealed or broken, how would you live your life? If you didn't see yourself as unhealed or broken, what decisions would you make? How are you being called to prioritize your healing? What healing are you ready to receive right now? What support are you ready to call in? Ask your heart, your mind, and your body to reveal what's most helpful to you and call it in. Yeah, so this could be communicating with your own self, also communicating with your own body. That could be a really helpful journaling exercise to say, okay, mind, what do you need? Body, what do you need? Spirit, what do you need? Do I need more meditation? Do I need more water? Do I need different foods? Do I need to move my body more? Mind, what do I need? Do I need to calm down on, scrolling? Do I need to read more? Do I need to make lists to organize my mind? Do I need to let go of lists and embrace more flexibility? You'll know everything. It's going to be different for everybody. And then let's read the let it go and hold on card. And I think that's going to be the close of your reading. It's a really beautiful, clear message. So let go is freeing, loosening your hold, stepping away, making space for new growth. Which part of the card is right side up? Which meaning is calling up to you most? So the other side, the phrase is for hold on, or determination, staying power, stick with it, commitment, or in it for the long haul. So even though the let go side came up, I'm reading both in case it resonates for you. The other part, which part is calling to you most, and how can you bring both parts into balance? There are times when we're called to hold on and times when we're called to surrender. But how do we know what to do when? The things we cling on to are often the ones that we're most called to let go of. But just because we cling to them doesn't mean they're not meant for us, nor that they'll fall away if we do gather up the courage to loosen our grip. Sometimes the act of letting go or of not clinging so tightly is the very thing that enables a situation to transform so that it remains yet it is better and more aligned than before. Or if it is not, then something more aligned now has the space to enter eventually. And now I'm hearing the phrase, if not this, then better. So that's something that people often say, to the universe if they're in this, do I stay? Do I go? Do I let it go? Do I walk away? Do I try again? Do I keep working at it? Or there's like a ghosting situation, or there's a door closed, either on a job or a relationship, or it seems to be closed. Often you can say to the universe, and it can be very soothing, if this is a no, or if this doesn't go anywhere, then bring something better to me. And that's actually what this reading is about. And I actually said that exact thing regarding that example I told you about the house when I felt called to move and I didn't want to. I said, okay, I will move if it is an upgrade, because there was like a few things that were bothering me, like about that house, even though I loved it. So I said, okay, if I'm moving, if not this, if I'm being called out of here, then something better, so that I'm feeling more aligned with where I'm moving to. So I love that the card says that. If this card appears with the hold on right side up, it can be an invitation to fight for what's important to you, stand up for your beliefs, have a difficult conversation, keep working towards something that doesn't appear to be working, or to really work on a relationship that might feel difficult. But if this card appears as it did with the let go right side up, then consider what you might be forcing, trying to control, refusing to release. What are you clinging on to for fear that it will go away and nothing will come into its place? So you have to know which one you resonate with. For that, I don't want to imply that it's stronger on one side, because the card holds both meanings. So we'll get a final message for you here. I really love this energy. There's so many options. If I do the Angel Tarot, let me take a peeky. None of them is really calling me stronger than another. I'm stumped. Okay, well, let's just pause instead of forcing it, because I feel like there's a reason why a couple are calling to me, but I don't feel like compelled towards one, and I just have a feeling that there's like a really beautiful closing card here, so I want to make sure that I tune into it and don't rush it if I'm not clear. So that could be a message for you. If you're not clear on what your next move is or what the direction you're heading in, then don't rush it. There could be divine timing, things lining up here for this. But let's just recap then instead. For now, you have the I Embrace the All card. And then you got this beautiful milk and honey abundance card. for things are suddenly improving, things suddenly get better. You're in abundance, you have your needs being met, you have resources for the tiny luxuries. Like, think, the world is smiling on you, it's rainbows, it's like I said, an auspicious time, a positive, successful time in your life, with this feeling of this new life breaking forth out of this shell with card 39 and new life. You're on a journey, you're moving towards something. You start to move towards something either emotionally or spiritually or in your physical realm or all of the above. You're possibly traveling or moving homes. Things start to come into balance within you. You're able to relax and you're able to do, and you feel like you have energy and resources for both. And then relationships start to reflect that puzzle pieces fitting together, that harmony and that balance. You're starting to rely more on a higher power. You're surrendering, you're accepting, you're moving in divine timing. You're okay with releasing things. You're letting things go. You're cutting your losses. If there's anything that you feel is no longer in alignment or in harmony with this new life that you're building for yourself. And you do it with love, you do it in peace, you do it with the highest good for all involved, and that energy. Things that are meant to be start coming into your life. People, places, circumstance, relationships. You feel this expansiveness. You feel this alignment with the universe. You feel this feeling of destiny, of this is what I came here for. This is where I'm meant to be. I'm in a place in my life where I feel like I've arrived, so to speak. Even though we're constantly evolving and expanding, you feel good where you are. You feel like you feel exactly like you're exactly where you're meant to be and doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. You no longer question, am I in the right career? Is this the right relationship? You feel that you're in the right place at the right time in this new timeline. Things suddenly improve. Things suddenly get better. Looks like open communication, asking for help and support and receiving, allowing the resources that are bountiful, on the universe in certain frequencies to come into your life, to surround you, to support and help you, and surround you is what I keep seeing, that energy. You're gracefully and peacefully and in no rush, recognizing that you're in this chamber of healing. This could be about this past phase of life that you're shifting out of and onto this new timeline. You're not rushing it. You're trusting the intelligence of the timing of your soul. If there's any forgiveness to be involved from yourself or for others, if there's any healing in physical or emotional or mental or spiritual layers, you're allowing time and space for all of that to happen in its own perfect rhythm and flow. And you're letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Like I said, you're embracing the unknown. You're embracing the newness. You're embracing the void potential of like a new moon energy. Really, really, really beautiful. And like I said, peaceful energy. It feels very flowy. It feels very aligned. I feel like you can see this timeline. I feel like you know that you're moving on to this timeline. And I am just going to get you one closing card. Yeah, I'm going to get you this one. This is the strongest one coming out for this Angel Tarot deck. Final message for pile one. Ooh! Pile. Oh, I already see another 2 coming out here. So first, another 2. So you now have card 2 with Journey, card 22 with Yin Yang, and then you have the 2 of Ariel, talking about this yin yang balance, and the figure's actually holding the yin yangs on his palm out here, balancing with an angel. It's important to have balance, working multiple jobs or projects at once and making work fun. Okay, so this new improved timeline, this is you having your iron in many fires in a way that is exhilarating to you, not in a way that overwhelms you. This could be stuff you've already got on your plate that kind of shifts and transforms into feeling more fun and exciting and interesting to you, or this could just be a whole new world of projects and jobs. You're doing a lot of things at once, but making work fun. You're excited by it. You're You're feeling like you're moving in harmony with the universe. You're putting a little bit of investment here, and then you're shifting over here, and you're moving with that rhythm. I'm seeing Mary Poppins. I'm seeing Mary Poppins when she goes into the room to clean the children's beds, and she's harnessing magic, and she's saying, I was going to say she's saying bibbidi bobbidi boo, but that's Cinderella. She's saying, I think it's a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Is that when she's cleaning? I don't think so. I think it's a different song, but that's the one coming up. But that actually applies. Maybe a little bit of like putting on your favorite podcast while you're cleaning, or really remembering why you were invested in this project in the first place. Like just infusing your projects and tasks and soul's purpose and whatever makes up your life with these a fun, playful energy. I really love when I got into that yesterday. I was cleaning and I was like, why did I ever think cleaning or tidying the house was hard? Like, because it just depends on the energy you're in. And I was in that energy of everything was simple and seamless. I was enjoying it. I had like a video, playing in my headphones that I was excited to listen to. And I felt like light, and I was really enjoying the taking the clutter and cleaning it. Like it felt so satisfying. So it's that type of energy. Seven of Raphael. Okay, this is the Seven of Cups. Time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action, and a need for detoxification. So the detoxification could have to do with the chamber of healing. That could be on a physical level or a spiritual level, purging extra energies, kind of like simplifying your life down a bit, or distractions, or like it could be at a physical level. Do that safely, make sure you know what you're doing. What is this? I'm trying to see what these are on this hill here. I don't know if they're like bunnies or rabbits or... but this is the Seven of Cups with choices, and in each bucket here is like a different rainbow color at this well. So there's definitely your final message, which I'm sure you probably already know. There's something that it could be time to make a decision on. With this new life and this journey and the letting go. Be clear on what you want first. That would be the yin part, reflecting, self-reflection, meditation, journaling, making sure that your third eye is open, your crown chakra is open, you're open to the information and downloads from the universe, from your higher self, from your inner being, whatever you resonate with, this higher power. Before you take action. And then once you're clear on what you want to do in this next phase, in this new timeline, you take your action. Then you move into the sun energy and you achieve that with aligned action. I really, really love that for you. I love how many twos you got. 4 sets of twos now, 2, 2, and 22. This could be about a divine counterpart or a relationship, because sometimes we get those numbers when it's two individuals coming together, or yin yang, but this also or could be you coming into realignment with your higher self and your inner being, and those two worlds moving into a stronger harmony and a stronger balance. I really love this message for you guys. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Honored and enjoyed this being in your energy. If you're going to another group, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You have the third eye chakra stone, and follow my inner guidance card. I don't know if this checkered print in the background is meaningful to somebody, like if you have that in your house or your childhood home or something, because it keeps being brought to my attention, but I don't know what that message would be. So if that's you, there could be a message here for you. So we are looking at, I'm very excited because I really enjoyed Pal 1's reading too, like just the energy. We are looking at everything suddenly gets better. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What is that timeline? We're exploring that timeline. So let's start for pile 2. What guidance, information, insights, activations can we help you with if everything suddenly got better or improved. Now, again, I'll preface this by saying this doesn't mean you have a bad life right now or that anything super negative has to be going on. It's just that feeling of moving into brighter times, the feeling of brighter days, the feeling of the energy lifting for whatever is going on around you right now in your reality. Okay, you have card 40 with co-create coming out. And we have a cheetah or a leopard, I'm not sure which, and an owl here with an egg. Co-create. Okay, so partnerships coming up here. And mending. Oh, wow. I don't know why that makes me want to like get emotional, because you have co-create and then mending, both, and with the two figures here, both indicating, like I said, partnership or harmony or duality, something getting better, something improving, something being healed, something being, even if it's not with another person, it could be mending something within you, like releasing a relationship that's no longer serving you. And then the healing that comes from, from rediscovering yourself again and kind of putting the pieces back together if it was, a very difficult time in your life. But it also could be healing or harmony with a specific person. I'm getting a mild headache. So we're gonna massage my head. Okay. All right, so let's see what else on this timeline for pile 2. Everything suddenly gets better. What does that look like? What does that improvement look like for them? Follow my inner guidance. I just heard chakra system, the chakra system. Card 46 coming out with the thinking man. This isn't gender specific, so this can represent any gender, but this would be somebody's energy being considering something, mulling something over. This could be overthinking. I don't really get overthinking with this particular reading. I do get consideration. This is someone considering something, reviewing something, looking at a situation from all sides, how this figure is kind of analyzing or beholding this crystal and kind of considering it, pondering it. So this could be you or somebody else that you're asking about or thinking of. This can also represent air signs. Okay, if you're not watching the video, the Thinking Woman has now come out, card 47. Okay, so this is about counterpart energy. You got the co-create card. Then you got the mending with the two figures here, the two fairies mending something together. And then you got the Thinking Man and the Thinking Woman together. You just pull this energy right out of the deck. So this, I have to take this as partnership. Like I would say romantic partners. This could be business partnership, but it's two halves of the whole. This is the partner card of this. These are a pair. So this could literally represent you and somebody else. This could literally represent two air signs. It doesn't have to be air signs. I'm just acknowledging that that's the suit. And there's a butterfly here, but this is two people pondering something, considering something, thinking about something at the most obvious level. So as they say, the thinking woman and thinking man, but more, what's just so powerful is that you've got a pair coming out here. So everything suddenly gets better, and there's a co-creative reunion energy here with two. This could be family, friends, a loved one. This could be romantic partnership. This could be something mending, that you're wanting to heal a relationship or soothe a dynamic or repair something that maybe suffered some turmoil. Or this could be mending something within you and then co-creating with the universe and bringing in some sort of partnership that you're trying to call in. So take the one that resonates. Either way, this has to do with following your own inner guidance about something, not listening to outside voices, not listening to what others think you should do and is best for your life. So you have the heart chakra, but it did come up in reverse, and I do take reversals only if I feel from spirit that it's indicating it should be that way. And I do feel like with it coming up in reverse, it's indicating some heartbreak here. So like we did get that, but with everything suddenly getting better, and this coming up, this would be healing, like I said, mending that heartbreak. So I'm just going to leave it upright. But it coming up in reverse, it's showing up in reverse initially is indicating and acknowledging you may be healing something within you that really affected your heart chakra, that maybe made you want to close down, shut down, that your heart literally feels broken. But the new timeline is showing everything gets better, everything improves. This is mended. You have the mended card. Can we have more, please? For pile 2. So everything suddenly gets better. What does that look like for pile 2? Things are resolved. I heard you work together with somebody to find a solution, to find harmony. Even if you're very different, I am getting a little bit of you're very different, because an owl and a, let's call this a cheetah, could not be more different in terms of animal species. And then we have like the man and woman here, which of course would be different genders. Yeah, so this could just be coming from two different polarizing opinions, or two different polarizing positions or generations or cultures, or, you know, religious standpoints or political standpoints or something like this. For pile 2, please. The situation suddenly gets better. What does that look like for them on that timeline? Give us a little sneak peek into that energy. There's also a card here that just stayed there. I'm going to take that. So that doesn't happen often. I didn't even notice it the whole time I was shuffling, so I want to take them all. Oh, Moonlight with Enchanted. I've never read that one. I've never got this card, so I'm going to read that from the book for you. There are 2 cards here. These 2 cards are stuck together. Come on. Come on. Oh, you got Moonlight Serenade, Change Your Tune. Interesting. I think I'm going to read both of those, because I feel like they really have a lot to do with what's going on here. And then you have the Falling Moon, Release Blocks. Okay, that makes sense. And Moon, Maybe, Intuition. Okay, so you have the Intuition crystal and you have the I follow my inner guidance. So I'm going to put intuition at the center point of this reading here, on either side, like in between the thinking man and the thinking woman. And release blocks. Okay, so this could look like this suddenly improving is you releasing blocks, I would say, to this heart chakra, opening up your heart, allowing something in again, allowing someone to communicate with you, or to, it doesn't even have to be someone. I don't want to say that, because this could be releasing literal dynamics and unhealthy, toxic situations. That could be the block. And then mending your own soul, or mending your heart chakra. So you have to take it how that resonates. But I do want to read these 2 cards I'm being drawn to. Specifically, the Enchanted card first says, there's something magical and enchanted about moonlight. Whatever it touches turns a beautiful creamy silver. Something is doing this in your life now, or is about to. Life is all about cycles, as is astrology and moonology. Right now, you're about to move into an enchanted time or cycle in your life, if you believe. That's what the whole reading is about. I love that. Whatever you're wishing for can come true, because you're starting to believe again, perhaps after a rough time. Yeah, this card is so potent to exactly what we're reading here so far on the table. This card reminds you to focus on the good while you process the difficult with mending. If you can't yet feel the magic in your life, take support from a daily practice of just breathing out, with the intention of breathing out stress through cleansing breaths. It might be dark now, but there is moonlight at the end of the tunnel. So keep the faith and see the world through kind eyes. If you affirm that something is too good to be true, you might make it so. Instead, believe that life can be magical for you, and it can be. Additional meanings for this card: smile more, trust the process, get in touch with your inner child, believe it and achieve it, expect good things. And about this symbol, we're taught to fear the dark, but the moonlight of a full moon shows us that there is less to fear and more to be grateful for. No more darkness, no darkness. Oh, no darkness, no moonlight. Like if there's no darkness, then there's no moonlight to behold. And I want to read the Change Your Tune card. Now, I do have this headache still. I'm not sure if that's you. Usually I pick up physical resonance. You could just be feeling very fuzzy and confused about things, or like just uncomfortable, kind of in pain about something. Oh, the Change Your Tune. Okay, this is interesting. So the Change Your Tune card was right after Enchanted, and I didn't even notice that. I kind of like searched all through the book, and even though I didn't need to. So there could be something that's a natural progressive step that's going to be happening in this new timeline where things improve, where you might think you have to find it and search for the answer, but actually it just naturally comes next. I should have just turned the page. So that message is coming through for you. If you just turn the page, the answer will be there that you're looking for. So Change Your Tune reads, you may need to change your tune. Have you been harping on and on about the same old thing? Is it time for you to change things up? Maybe you've been a little too frantic and it's time to slow things down. Stop and hear the music of the spheres, the planets. Could it be that you need to change your mind, have a change of heart, update your opinion? Is it time to choose love over fear? It's so easy to get stuck in particular ways of communicating. Oh, truth. I feel that. Maybe the person you need to get through to now will respond in a way that's more to your liking if you sing a different song. I'm hearing that phrase, catch more flies with honey. Not in a manipulative way, just as in a harmonious, approach. In other words, try a new tactic. Have you been obsessing? If so, stop. As if it's that easy. Have you been obsessing? Please stop. Like, as if it's that easy. Because law of attraction, if you're obsessing, this helps me. I'm just going to insert this here because I get very obsessive. Not a lot, but I used to get very obsessive. And once I figured out that's the law of attraction. That's energetic quantum mechanics, where what you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on a certain train of thought, thinking about someone, thinking about a problem, ruminating, it's literally just accessing more thoughts like that from the ether and presenting them to you. That's the job of your focus. That's why it can feel like you can't get out of those hamster wheels, because it will keep presenting. What about this? What about this? Did you think about this? What about this? What about this? More data, more data, more data to align with your current focus. So it's really helpful to break the obsessive cycle by napping, sleeping, wake up again in the morning, meditating. If you can, meditating might not help because you're still somewhat conscious. But when in your sleep state, you literally release that pattern. And then if you don't pick it up again when you wake up, you can choose, you have space to choose to think about something else. So you can consciously say, I'm thinking about this from this perspective, or I'm focusing on my day, or I'm focusing on myself. And that will help break obsessive thoughts. Remember, as Dr. Wayne Dyer taught, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Make sure you're not being stubborn. Holding your ground sounds good, but there's nothing wrong with admitting when a new tactic is called for, and one may be well called for now. Additional meanings. Look at your question from a new perspective. Don't be afraid to admit it if you were wrong. Allow someone else to take the lead. Focus on the good things in life. Relax a little, take it down a notch. And this symbol is showing to be in flow with someone personally or professionally. We need to listen to them and get ourselves in harmony rather than trying to have it all our own way. So I like how this shows this figure here is playing I think the flute or possibly clarinet or some kind of flute. What is that other one called? That's like the mix between a clarinet and a flute or something. And then with the trumpets here and the music notes, it's giving being in harmony with like an orchestra, like you're playing a part of, as a team, you're playing a tune, you're playing your part of the song. But if you, not if you, but as you learn how to work with the other, members in that orchestra, then it begins to flow, and the song comes out in a way that everyone was aiming for. So this could be in this new improved. Now, only take what that card, I can feel that card was slightly triggering to some people. Only take what you want from that card. If you don't feel you were wrong, if you feel, then don't take that message. It's a general message here. But this definitely has to do with two people who are coming at something from, I would say, probably opposing positions, like I said, from a different perspective, and that you're moving into this enchanted time of your life where it's looking dark, but there's something starting to light up. There's something starting to heal. There's something your intuition is bringing in here, because you pulled the intuition card. And both of your cards here, like she has the moon symbol on her third eye. This one has the open eye on her third eye. There's something from your inner knowing is trying to help you with or project to you. It could be a new way of looking at this, updating a new way of approach. But in this new timeline where things suddenly get better, I see you thinking about this from a different perspective. I see you mending this. I see you opening your heart chakra. I see you working together here with co-create. I see you releasing whatever the block was, whatever the perspectives were that were holding you back, either on mending something within yourself with a future person, or mending something with someone you've got on your mind. It really depends what your heart is calling you to do. You may feel like, I'm at the end of my rope. I don't want to mend with this person anymore. I want to protect my heart. I want to mend my heart. And this relationship has proved, negative, toxic, confusing, controlling, disruptive. And the changing the tune could be prioritizing yourself. The changing your tune could be stopping seeking harmony where there isn't any, or alignment where there no longer is, where you've outgrown a connection, or where that contract has ended, that soul contract. So you have to know which one it is. I don't want the message to come across that it's encouraging or saying on the new timeline, you fix this with this person, if that's not where your inner intuitive nudges is calling you, because you also have release blocks, you have change your tune. So this could be, try a different approach by giving it some space, try a different approach by focusing on your inner world and allowing your heart chakra to heal and giving yourself some time to recover from this. You have to know that's why you have two intuitive cards here at the center, which is the right approach for you. But I really love the energy here of your spread so far. Let's see what else comes out for you. Anything else for pile 2 on this timeline where everything suddenly improves? This seems to be very about relationships, either relationships with yourself, multiple different relationships. This could be about family, friends, romantic, your higher self, and mulling things over, tuning into your heart space, tuning into your third eye, receiving wisdoms, insights, and downloads and upgrades from the higher realms to help you to interact and process this situation from a different way. One that feels like this enchanted light at the end of the tunnel. One that feels like resolution, solution, healing, ease, peace of mind, satisfaction. More information for pile 2, please. Things suddenly get better. Do you want these? Yes. Things suddenly get better. The ripple effect. So the ripple effect, part of something bigger, details are taken care of. So this showing that, everything affects something else. So as you, I might read this one, but as you tune into your inner world here, as we take action, it's affecting others in a positive way. It's putting out, seeding that light into the atmosphere, into the energetic realms. You also had ride the waves, life lessons, growth. You'll get through this. And the rainbow. Oh, I love that you got the rainbow. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. I love that. Okay. I want to read. I'm just going to put this here so this stays in the frame. I want to read the ripple effect card. I love that you got sweet relief, new beginnings. And then it literally says a new way forward. And the change your tune also said you may need to look at this from a different perspective. So the thing suddenly getting better is that this is, you approach whatever this is in a completely different way than you ever have before. You have like an aha epiphany moment from your third eye, a download, an insight. You can see, you understand. It's your inner knowing, it's your inner seeing something from a new perspective, and you move into this, I want to say, enchanted rainbow. TM, I'm just kidding. Enchanted rainbow time of your life where things are just improved. They feel like that beautiful, soft, like it said, silver moonlight shimmer, like a rainbow. It's fresh. And it says relief, sweet relief. So I'm going to read some of these here. The ripple effect says, when wind blows on the water, ripples are formed. If the wind is consistent and strong enough, the ripples become waves, and those waves have the potential to gather momentum every step of the way. This card delivers the message of the ripple, soon to become a wave. You're playing your part in the collective ocean of change. Maybe you know your part, or perhaps it's not clear. But your role in the collective ocean matters, and you're having an impact by the way you're showing up to your path. The ripple effect card could be a sign that a project or creation is becoming a bigger success than you may have previously thought it would be, or it could be a sign that you're part of something much bigger than just you. Perhaps you're one drop in a giant ocean, part of a constellation of souls here to create an impact on this world. Oh, I love that. The momentum is building, the details are being taken care of. Something's swelling and growing. Don't get lost in the details, but trust the momentum is building and will continue to do so. Swim your own race, don't look around. Something's happening and you're an important part of it. Success and momentum are on their way. And the activation is, I surrender to the flow of my destiny, and I welcome more trust, ease, and support every step of the way. And I want to read the rainbow. I mean, who wouldn't want to read the rainbow card in a reading about things suddenly get better? Somewhere over... Oh, who thought I wasn't going to hit that? No, I didn't. Okay, over the rainbow. The rainbow. There are countless myths from all corners of the world that feature rainbows. In most cases, the rainbow symbolizes a bridge between heaven and earth and is a sign of good fortune. Sorry, my heart chakra, like, it just went like activated. I felt like my heart chakra was crying. If that makes sense. Like that release when you have pent up tears and your eyes ache. It felt like my heart center was aching. Perhaps the most widely known story comes from Irish folklore. It says there's a pot of gold waiting at the end of the rainbow, guarded by a leprechaun. In Norse mythology, Bifrost, the rainbow bridge connects Earth with Asgard, home of the gods. Ancient Japanese folklore says rainbows are bridges that ancestors of humans took to descend to Earth. Oh, I love that. In the Old Testament book of Genesis, God sets a rainbow in the sky as a comforting symbol to humanity that he will never again destroy the earth with floods. In this oracle, the rainbow is here to comfort and reassure you that the future is full of hope. If you've been going through a challenging time lately, the rainbow is your sign. There are clear skies ahead of you. Rest deeply in the knowledge that the rainbow brings with it a feeling of sweet relief and a simpler future. There are new beginnings beckoning you forth. There's a clear and vibrant way forward. The path is steady, and opportunities for deep joy, safety, comfort, and peace. And the affirmation is, I'm ready to welcome new beginnings that are waiting for me. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. I feel that feels like such a relief. Yeah, I don't feel like there's much more to say about the Ride the Waves life lessons and growth. You'll get through this. I feel like, that's what's going on here. There's some challenge or challenging aspect in your world that you would love to see resolved. You'd love to see put to rest and to move into that feeling of clear skies with a rainbow after the rain. You'd like to be getting to a clear time where it's not so cloudy, where it's not so convoluted, where it's not so challenging and choppy, where the energy is smoother and you wake up and you don't have that anxiety, you don't have that muddled feeling of there's these aspects in my life that I don't feel clear about, there's these relationships that I don't feel good about. I would strongly develop your trust and your comfort by practicing following your intuitive nudges, because your higher self or inner being or whatever you want to call it, God, universe, will call you out of this to the best possible solution, and that way will be shown to you through your crown chakra and your third eye chakra, where you will have a knowing, and you just know, I want to travel here, I want to say this, I want to call. I'll give you an example. I had a challenge. I had how about that? I had. I'm releasing it. I no longer have a challenging dynamic with a family member. Okay, it's my mother. And I will just tell you. Shout out, Mom. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't watch this channel, but shout out to my mom's energy. And for various reasons throughout my life, it brings me a lot of challenge. And I kept thinking, I do have to address this, but I didn't feel ready. And then yesterday, I felt strongly, my intuitive nudge was like, ask your parents over. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that. Like my 3D self was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Because I just didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to welcome that into my world and have to deal with it. But I just more strongly follow my intuitive nudges. I didn't ask why. So I just messaged my dad, actually not my mom, and said, hey, do you guys want to come by if you're free? And he said yes. He was like, yeah. And my mother actually apologized. I'm not saying that's what I wanted at all. It's just, my point is, she opened the conversation and said, I'm sorry for the way I acted. And she gave me insights about why that I was not aware of. Anyways, the point of that is that relationship was somewhat mended. It's not, fixed by any means or healed. I've kind of just accepted it. It is what it is. But my point about that is the intuition. I felt that strong nudge to do it then, probably because she was in a headspace that she was open and I had a little bit of time on my plate, which I don't usually have. So you may get an intuitive nudge about something similar, to call someone or text someone or reach out to someone or shut the door on something. It could be either, because I don't want that story that I'm telling you to make you think that I'm saying, so you should also try and mend something. Because even though I had a positive conversation, there also was a releasing of something and a closing a door on something that I've needed to do for a very long time and just allow the relationship to be what it is. So I feel like I would like to get you one more card from this Angel Tarot deck. And I think that's a pretty good insight into what it would look like if things suddenly got better regarding this situation for you, if this is what's on your mind. If not, then you're welcome to try another pile and see if you're drawn to anything else. But I believe there is definitely a group of you where this is what's on your mind. So for pile 2, it's funny that I keep saying on your mind, and it's like you have the third eye and you have the thinking man and woman. Definitely something on your mind. Okay, there we go. I was just about to say, where is this card? And then it just hopped off. The Eight of Ariel says, take great pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Yeah. Consider getting an additional education or training. So I love how this figure is looking in a book, and so is this thinking woman. There's some aspect here about either education or expanding your perspective or mind on something, learning about something, kind of pursuing alternate ways of doing something. Like I said, if you're coming from very different approaches with someone and you do want to mend something, it could be, you know, learning about their lifestyle, learning about their values, learning about their belief system. Not that you have to take them on yourself, but just expanding your world to say, you know, I never saw it that way. I see how that could be your perspective, for example. Or allowing yourself time to practice at this. Like if you're engaging with someone in a new way, or if you're setting boundaries and kind of exiting an unhealthy dynamic, that can take practice. Every time you have the interaction, you're going to be most comfortable repeating the same pattern. So it does take some time to create new paths, new neural pathways, and new energetic pathways where you choose differently, where you open your heart instead of closing your heart, where you choose to follow your own intuition instead of choosing, you know, to let guilt lead, where you allow yourself time and space to giving it space to allow the mending and allow the shifts to occur, because they don't always happen overnight. And sometimes we can get impatient, obviously, and be like, I didn't see this fix, you know, they didn't react how I wanted them to react, or whatever the case is, or I still don't feel good about this. But in time and with practice, this improved reality says, take pride in your excellent work. There's going to be something that you feel very proud of yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to feel very good in this new timeline. You're going to feel like, I had a challenge, I considered it, I looked at it from all angles, I tuned into my inner world, I shifted and adjusted my approach. With the ripple effect, I let this ripple build into a wave. That's what that's saying with practice make perfect. I let this positive momentum build into something that has more impact, more influence, more effect in the situation. And I allowed myself to move through this dark, foggy, muddy time into the rainbow, into the moonlight, into the enchanted timeline where things do feel right, where things do feel harmonious for me in my world, where I do feel supported, where I do feel good and fulfilled and satisfied and happy about where I am in my place in the world and where I am within my relationships. Really, really beautiful reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today and trusting me to be your reader. If you are going to another group, I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Pile 3, thank you for being here and welcome to your reading. I Live in Truth is your card with the solar plexus chakra stone. And I really get a deep sense of you feeling called either recently or throughout your life to stand in your truth. Obviously, the card indicates that, but because it has the solar plexus chakra, I'm feeling that confidence and that assuredness. So if you're not feeling that yet, this could be about things suddenly improving and what that new timeline looks like, where you do feel solid and confident in your truth, or this could be about you if you're already feeling in that place. I do sense that you've had to make some difficult decisions, that you've had to really discover who you are and stand up for yourself and stand up for your own decisions amongst maybe people opposing that and pressuring you to not be that way for whatever the thing is on your mind or just in general in your life choices. So if that's you, you're in the right So for pile 3, things suddenly improve, things suddenly get better. And now my disclaimer is this doesn't mean there's anything wrong in your world right now. This is simply an improving, things aligning more, becoming more harmonious, more things that you're trying to manifest popping into your experience. So let's explore the timeline if things suddenly get better. For pile 3, please. Things suddenly get better. What does that look like in their world? There's a couple wanting to come out here, but we'll just make sure. A lot of them wanting to come out. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa. Okay, those ones popped into my hand. Oh, 3 here. Okay, higher power, imagine, and round and round. Okay. Higher power, that came out in a different pile for another, a different deck for another pile. Imagine and round. That's card 4, card 20, and card 25 coming up here. Things suddenly improve. I'm not getting a lot so far from this. I'm getting a lot of big general energies like higher power, imagine, visualization, round and round. Things suddenly improve. You get off this hamster wheel. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's not make things up. Okay, for pile 3. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I get so like, my nervous system must need like some soothing. A card jumping out bothers me. Okay, so you have 2 card 25s. And it happened to be deceit. Now that can't be coincidental that you got the same number. So you're round and round with something that feels not right to you. Now this deceit card looks very ominous. This person's giving villain. But it doesn't necessarily need to be that black and white, like a person who's deceiving you, but it might be. You might be aware of who this is. This could also be inner deceit, like self-betrayal, forcing yourself into a box that you know is not meant for you, forcing yourself down a path that others are pressuring you on, or this could have happened in your past. This could be the new timeline you're trying to shift onto. Let's just keep going with that, but I do want to shift these over here now. Okay, I keep hearing imagine all the people. Now, I know that songs come up channeled in a different reading, like on a completely different reading, so you could be from there. Ooh! My right ear is ringing so loudly. Just a moment. I'm only bringing that up because I feel like it would be meaningful to you. That's it, just presenting in the reading. Okay, let's continue. The energy here is a little interesting to navigate. It's not very forthcoming. You may, and there's not a judgment. I'm just communicating that to you to know if that resonates for you. Do you feel a little bit guarded or misunderstood or pile 3s? There's been 2 pile 3s in the last 2 readings that I've had a similar energy of feeling not misunderstood, but just individuating. Like I said at the beginning, like you've had to really stand up for your own truth and say, this is how I choose to live. This is who I am. This is my beliefs. You don't have to agree. I don't need your alignment. I don't need your harmony. But I think that's resulted in you having no expectation of understanding and almost, and again, like that's, I think, a good thing. That's very freeing. And I think you also, you're like, it would be nice, but I don't need it, or I don't need your cosign. That's your energy. Like you don't, and again, that's not defiant. You're just like, I don't need a reader to tell me that it's okay, that I myself, you've already achieved that state of freedom within yourself. But sometimes when that's your energy and you're so individuated, the energy that I'm trying to read can present as very, I don't describe this. It's so like pure and individuated. That's the only word I can think of. That it's not requiring much of me. Like it doesn't ask me much as a reader. It's more just presents itself, like it's just present. It's not actively asking me to, it's very hard to explain this. I don't feel it's calling me for any answers. So it just takes a little bit more for me to explore. It's basically an energetic, I would say, like characteristic. You know how you meet some people and they're like, oh my gosh, like imagine the type of person who you meet and they're like outwardly friendly and they give information, so they say, oh my gosh, so nice to meet you, I love that sweater, I had that sweater once, my sister worked at that store, and so they offer information. So that's one type of energy that I felt in piles 1 and 2. And then this is a type of energy where you meet the person and they're just like, hello, and they smile pleasantly at you, and then you sit across from each other and stare at each other. And they're like, they're not offering anything, but they're not asking for anything from you. It's like they're not trying to take from you, and they're not trying to put on you, or give or question. It's just a different type of energy, and all the energies are beautiful and unique. I'm just explaining to you that one so you can know that I might need a little bit more patience while I read this energy. But you are patient anyway, so I don't even know why I'm telling you. Okay, pile 3. Things suddenly improve. Ooh. Watch for signs. Follow the moon. What are the 225s about? 25 and 25 is 50. It deduces down to 7. Okay, I just want to address something here. So I sense for some of you, this deceit card is a more collective feeling that you recognize in the collective of the deceit, that kind of goes on in different realms of, I don't want to get into it, but different realms of consciousness, where it's not pure, it's not upfront, it's not ethical, it's not operating with integrity. And I think this round and round, I think your improved reality would be more people living in their truth, more people connecting with a higher power, more people. Like, I don't even think when you came to this reading, I think you automatically perceived it in the way of mass consciousness. You automatically were thinking things suddenly improve for the world. I think that's how your brain's wired. I don't think you were thinking of it as for you, even though of course it would have like that effect in that it would also improve your experience. But I feel like you're pretty happy and content with where you are. I feel like your concern is for humanity at this point, which is really beautiful. And I didn't expect that energy here. This round and round deceit. You're like, imagine a world where we're living each in our own truth and respecting it, where higher power is guiding us, whatever that is for us. And we respect each person's belief system and their own connection to their higher self, or the higher energies, the higher frequencies, the higher dimensions. Follow the moon, watch for signs. Ooh, I love this. I think this is so beautiful. Y'all are gonna make me cry with your energy. You're so like pure and like, what's the word? Like, you're so like unselfishly, but I don't want that to be a judgment, because it's okay that other piles we want to know for ourselves, right? Because It's our inner world. What we do for ourselves is going to reflect in the outer. So both are important, but it's just really beautiful. I see this moon here, and with the butterflies coming out of it, showing like a transformation, transformative energy blooming all around the earth. And the watch for signs is things suddenly improve. You start to see signs all around you of that happening. Conversations feel more harmonious with other people. People are more open-minded, less rigid, more flexible, more loving, more compassionate. There's peace, there's harmony. Instead of conversations being egocentric, where how can I get my point across and how can I be heard, you're witnessing and being involved in conversations where both are looking for harmony and alignment, instead of something that their ego wants. It's more guided and guided and led from a heart space of how can we both feel good about this conversation and learn from each other's perspectives. This is really, really beautiful. What else here? Yeah, I keep hearing that. Imagine this. No. I feel like you contemplate this. You contemplate a new earth. You contemplate a world where the things that you went through in traumatic events that you've released and done your best to heal from and move on from don't happen. Again, you've contemplated. A lot of people don't think about that. You may think that they do. I don't feel like too many people focus their visualizations and their energies there. It's getting more and more. But you're one of the people that do. I see you like laying in bed at night and literally imagining a world that's improved for everybody, where everybody's sharing resources and it's just a beautiful place to be. And there's not this fear interlacing and laced through everything. This card. Authority. Okay. So I take reversals if I feel that they are very meaningful for the card. For... Yeah, I do feel like it wants to be reversed here. Because the Emperor card can be very fixed and rigid, and it can represent government or authority or people in charge, people in control. And it's not necessarily a negative card, because having authority over your own life is a beautiful thing. But in this sense, I'm going to take it reversed, because it's everything suddenly improving is people releasing their feeling of authority over others and understanding that their authority is their own sovereignty. That's over their own inner world. And that's where it begins and ends. And there can be caretaker roles, where you have, you're a parent or something like this, and where you have to guide a child until they're able to take over with their own authority. But from a very small age, a child can even has its own inner compass from a very small age. I always try to raise my daughter that way. I always try to help her make her own decisions, even from what she wants to choose to eat. And, I just guide her towards safe choices, and I present them, and explain to her, this has this has that. But I still let her intuitively choose. So I feel like that's the world that is suddenly improved, where you don't... There's a softening of people in these roles of authority because we do need some authority roles, right, in order to have certain things, but it's in a different, it's not attached to the ego. It's attached maybe to experience and natural gifts. Like I'm naturally gifted in leadership, or I'm naturally gifted in organization, or I'm naturally gifted in communication. And those people take roles of authority, hold. I don't even want to say take. So there's certain even vibrations of certain words are not in alignment in your reading. People hold certain positions of authority for the purpose of expressing their gifts and for the harmony of the whole. It's really beautiful. Let's get an inner temple card for pile 3. If everything suddenly gets better, what does that look like in this timeline that we're tuning into here in this group? Yet people definitely get off the hamster wheel. You witness people getting out of the line of sheep and thinking for themselves. Projections, yeah. I'm going to read that because I've read it before in a different context, and I'd love to hear how it reads in the context of what we're talking about here. Imagine this. Those people who trigger something in us hold up a mirror to what's within ourselves. Projection is a defense mechanism whereby we mistake what's going on within us for something that's happening in the world around us. Nevertheless, that which we avoid facing will show up in our lives as fate. Those feelings, behaviors, or beliefs that we choose not to explore, admit, name, or claim are projected onto those around us. Yeah, I see why this is coming up here. This is why shadow work is crucial, as without it, that which is in the unconscious will continue to appear in the external world. Yeah. There's wisdom in saying that when you're pointing your finger at someone else, turn it around and look back at yourself. Of course, it takes courage to do this, for it requires us to delve into the shadows in our psyche, but we'll find the gift of freedom here. We can be triggered by those who we despise, as well as those who we admire. Who frustrates or triggers you the most? What is it about this person that you can't stand or that you admire the most? How does this quality relate? How does my throat chakra shut down right now? How does this quality relate to the way you think about yourself? And then the soul inquiry is, who is triggering you? What is that's triggering within you? Be brutally honest with yourself, and what are you being called to do? So this could be twofold. Number one, I think the timeline where things suddenly improve is people realize their projections. They begin to look within instead of pointing fingers. They begin to say, okay, what within me is making me feel this fear, is making me feel this judgment, is causing me to want to, lock down and make everyone do the same thing and make everyone fall into line so that I can feel safe in this world. So I believe that's indicating that behavior would be something of the past. People would naturally realize, and the consciousness would be elevated to the point where we would understand collectively that the inner work is most important, because that's going to reflect in our interactions with others, and we would all take responsibility and accountability for our own inner world and our own inner work and what's leaching out, or what's if we're wounded, that chain of pain type of thing, and we would be addressing that, and we would be looking at that, and we would be open to navigating that and going into the shadows and working with our shadow self on these things for the purpose of healing the whole and alchemizing the consciousness at a bigger level. And then twofold is, if it resonates for you, it could be saying, looking at yourself and seeing some of these behaviors in others, if they're very triggering, what is that saying about you? Is there anything that's showing you about your own soul, about something that your own soul wants to learn or let go of or release or alchemize or grow from or take to a new level or shift to a new place within you? Okay, let's get this. This is so offside, but I I don't even want to say this, but I heard Nutty Nutty, the Nutty Professor. I have not thought of that movie. I think it was a movie in ages. I don't even remember what it was about, but I think he was a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but in the best way possible. So I don't know if you relate to that character, or if there's something in that movie, or I have, like I said, I have not thought of that in decades. I think that was out in the 90s or 80s? The Nutty Professor. I don't know. I'm just letting you know because it came up. If there's a message, if that resonates for you, this just could be a message just acknowledging that. Nutty Nutty, the Nutty Professor. Whoa, okay. Ooh, stay on the table. Okay, we have here, wow, 4 cards. Okay, yeah, I love this. I love that you got Atlantis. Keep the big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. Beneath the surface, what's really driving you, true motives, breaking free. Immerse yourself, training, learning, new hobbies and passions. Yeah, and what metamorphosis. Yeah, metamorphosis with the literal butterfly card that we talked about. Embracing transformation, things are now different. Okay, I want to read a couple of these because a couple of these cards have never come out. I want to read Atlantis and Metamorphosis first. Atlantis reads, in his writings, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato described a great civilization called Atlantis, whose island home in the Atlantic Ocean was a marvel of architecture. Its capital city was made up of a series of concentric circles separated by moats of water, and at its center was a temple dedicated to Poseidon, the god of the sea. The Atlanteans were a highly advanced people who were very much tapped into and connected with the energy of the universe, with the higher power card. It says tapped in and connected to with the energy of the universe. And this figure here has a key here on their third eye chakra. And there's like a smaller, a lower figure here with the higher figure. You also have this water card with the Imagine that's giving the Atlantis vibes. They also harness the power of water and air in their technologies and practices. Perhaps this is where their tremendous psychic and magical abilities for manifesting their great visions into the physical came from. Eventually, Atlantis' growth got out of hand and its people became greedy and disrespectful. A series of earthquakes caused the island to sink to the bottom of the ocean, and for millennia, people have been captivated by the legend of this lost civilization. This card is one of huge visions and promises. Yeah, this is a huge vision you have, but it's not unattainable. It's just, like I said, it's way bigger thinking than most think. You have the potential to create great things in this world. However, it comes with a warning to stay in alignment when you grow. Create rather than produce. I love that. Don't get addicted to growth. Instead, stay true to your mission and inner calling. Soul inquiry. What are you being called to create? What can you focus on creating rather than producing? How can you stay in alignment as you grow? That's beautiful. I even have this come up on this level of like a YouTube channel because it can be very tempting because God bless YouTube. It sends you all these, like when you're a creator, it sends you all these things, right? Like these things are trending. This is your metrics. This is your, why don't you try this? And I kind of have to like block it out. Not because I don't, want my channel to grow. It's not my personal purpose. My purpose is to use my gifts, express my gifts, and I trust that it will reach the right people. That's my way of helping. That's my way of supporting, one consciousness, just my little piece of insight and perspective and gifts saying, for whoever it resonates with, let's, be a part of each and connect and be a part of each other's journey. And if this helps you, then wonderful, bring some messages through that your consciousness or wherever you're at on your path is calling for at that moment, to help. But that can be like, it can be very easy to get called to the other thing so I'm just saying this, if this relates to kind of where you are at, if you do have a platform where you're creating something, it's like the sound of the machine is very loud sometimes, and it's there to help because I don't know, I guess it assumes people want certain metrics, like you're there for growth or you're there for income or you're there for, I don't know, I guess it's not built based on that you're there to express. Like, I mean, the prompts from YouTube could be, Do you feel you were in alignment with your purpose today? Do you, things to consider. Have you meditated today on the content that you're creating? Is the content that you're creating coming from an inspired place? I'm just saying, like, no shade to YouTube. It has, its merits, and it's doing a wonderful thing by providing people a place to express their gifts. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm just saying the world is not typically structured in that way yet, where the platform encourages maybe the things that are more, I don't know, I don't even know how to put that. Not more important, but just more in alignment, in harmony with each of our own soul purpose. It really just depends what perspective, the platform's set up from. But I really understand where that card is coming from. Now, you may resonate with Atlantis energy. You may be intrigued by it. You may have looked it up. You may feel like a past life you were an Atlantean, for example. And then let's read the Metamorphosis card. Because I love how it says things are now different, because this reading is about what if things suddenly improved. Water, more than any other element, is very used to change. Like lobsters, which must shed their shells in order to grow, when the conditions call for it, water transforms itself from liquid to solid, ice to gas, clouds, mist, vapor. And while it may appear that the way we humans change is a little more subtle and slow than that, as ever-changing beings living in an ever-changing world, we're constantly transforming too. Every moment of every single day is an opportunity to embrace or resist change. When we embrace change, we embrace the intelligence of life. When we resist change, we resist the intelligence of life. That's a beautiful way to put that. Often it's in the growth phase that we feel most uncomfortable. When we've outgrown our skin or our shell or our old way of being, it requires great courage to release what was for the chance to begin again. This is what it means to transform. Whew, having a hard time breathing all of a sudden for a second. This is what it means to transform, and it's what this card is all about. Sorry, I'm reading it, but I don't know what I'm saying. This is what it means to transform, and it's what this card is all about. It's time to embrace what's changing around and within you and see it as an opportunity for transformation and growth. Yeah, sorry, I was channeling during that last part, so sometimes my body, it's like I'm having an out-of-body experience, like I don't know what my mouth is saying, but I don't wish the downloads would wait until I'm done reading, but they come when they are meant to come. So let me finish this and then I'll tell you the download. The Healing Waters activation says, I embrace the changes that are happening around and within me, and I'm ready to let them transform me. So that feeling of not being able to catch my breath, the download was coming that you may feel that something in your life is changing so swiftly and out of your control that you feel like out of breath, like you feel like flustered, like anxiety, like I can't, like it's so sudden. It's like going down a hill on a roller coaster where your breath catches and you're like you can't catch your groundedness. And then you had this beneath the surface, what's really driving you, true motives, breaking free. And immerse yourself, training, learnings, new hobbies, passions. Yeah, I feel like you're releasing an old identity, if you haven't already. And even if you have, there's more that like you may have thought, okay, I've come to this place and this is as authentic as I can be. And then all of a sudden something's revealed to you where you're like, oh, there's more here. There's more ground I can step forward on that I just saw solidify. And there's more that I can investigate here and explore. And it's changing me a little, and I'm evolving and I'm expanding, even though your initial transformation was so extreme, I would say, that you kind of assumed like that's got to be the end of my transformation. I'm probably going to stabilize here for a little bit. For example, they're showing me, some of you may have felt called to be very what is this word? You may have felt called to live a life on your own, called to live in solidarity. And then, so you just assumed that you were like, yeah, that makes sense to me, that I don't do well with a partner. I'm very inwards. I want to live a life of, just, what is that word? Just being by yourself. And, maybe you have some interactions, friends or whatever, but you're like, I don't have any desire for a romantic partner. Don't get triggered. I'm not telling you have to do this. This is just an example they're giving of how different the change would be. It probably is something else. And you've always identified with like your new world. You feel comfortable in that, this new identity. You're like, and then all of a sudden you start to get these like intuitive nudges or downloads about someone who would be an aligned romantic partner with you. But you're like, no, that's no longer who I am. I live a life of solidarity. I live in isolation. I live a hermit lifestyle. That's my thing. That's who I am. That's where I'm comfortable. That's where I felt so called to. I felt so aligned with that. I felt so at peace with that. It felt so right for me. So then when it shifts and there's something new wanting to present in your world, you're almost like, say what? Like, where did this come from? Like, you didn't expect it. So there could be something that's very new and different, presenting itself, that is on this new timeline where things suddenly get better and improve. And you may have thought like, I never would have thought that I would be interested in that, whatever the thing is, whether it's a romantic partner or, maybe you never thought you'd return to like a regular job, say, and then someone says, hey, would you be interested in writing this blog for us, or writing this, doing this for us, or being on our panel of advisors about this? And you're like, wear a tie and go to a corporate thing? No. And they're like, no, you don't have to wear a tie. You can wear your flip-flops and shorts. Like, we don't care. And you're suddenly like, oh, like maybe I'm the one having projections now. Maybe I'm the one having resistance now. And I want to be a part of the evolution of this, not perpetuating it. I don't know. I feel like you guys are not only intelligent, but spiritually aware enough to understand what I'm saying without me going too deeply into that. But this could involve new things, new learning, new training, new hobbies, passion. You could have been feeling called to just like new stuff. I don't want to say new stuff. I want to say new SH blank T. I think that might be how you would have said it, but I don't want to curse here. That's some new, ish you've been called to. And that is showing up here. So things suddenly improving. Maybe there's an expansion in your world about things that interest you and call you and that you want to delve into and study. And I think that's it. It just kind of like scene and just kind of closed off there. I didn't feel it was a very graceful ending. Usually it's like a little more seamless. This was like, you may feel, and that's it. But that I do feel like that's, you know what I feel like happened? I feel like you got your mind, something like activated in your mind that I said, like you were a new thought, like about something. And then now your interest, you feel like your soul is like activated, because I think you're very in tune with your intuition. Your soul got activated to that download, and now you want to go pursue that, which you should. So don't let me keep you. You're like on your phone, or you're researching something, or you're going to get a book that you remembered or something, and calling someone that you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I feel so called to this. And so the reading's like, we're done. We're done. Message received. You're on your way to your things suddenly getting better timeline. So you go enjoy that. I love that for you. Thank you for being here. I was honored to do this reading and be in your energy. If you felt called to another group, I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. You chose the I Create Harmony card and the root chakra. I'll put it right there with this moon. Now, I'm getting a Jack Sparrow. Savvy? I'm getting Jack Sparrow vibes here. If you resonate with that character or your energy. I just saw, like, I got downloads before I even started filming. I just saw someone's energy so big and expansive and light and free. That could be the timeline, because we're doing things suddenly get better. You could be moving into Jack Sparrow energy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Pirates of the Caribbean, the character that Johnny Depp plays, he's very like free and fun and lighthearted and goofy and silly and authentically himself. I mean, that may have to do with what's in his cup, but don't know. I don't want to go too deeply into it. But let's start your reading. So if things suddenly improve, the cup of life, you're on the cup of your higher self of alignment. You're swigging from the cup of resonance with your soul's purpose. You feel me? Yeah, you guys got big energy on this timeline, either now or on this timeline. Poised, card 48. And all that glitters. Okay. Yeah, some like treasure. Treasure hunters. Okay. Things suddenly get better. What does that look like? So let's start with the all that glitters card. The all that glitters card. Ooh, this is good. All that glitters with poised. We ain't mad at it. Also, do you resonate with this green figure on this card? I just feel like this is your guys' energy. I feel like you guys were like, oh, the green person for sure. Like, it's just so unique and just giving. I just got it all going on, and I just know what I know myself. I love that for you. Okay, the all that glitters card, card 16, can have two meanings. It can be, shiny things with the masks on top here, like, people being, portraying themselves in a way that they aren't, kind of like, fool's gold. And it can also mean, shiny abundance coming in, this could resonate for acting or something with the masks, or, playing, having fun. Oh yeah, because we just channeled the Jack Sparrow thing. It could have something to do with acting or playing a role, or, expressing yourself in a way on stage, or by even like embodying who you want to be. A lot of like embodiment practices are like that, like put on the hat of who you would want to be, of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, dress like them, walk like them, speak like them, to kind of integrate that new identity into your life. Whatever it is, it's looking good. It's shiny. It's a mountain of it. It's shining. There's a higher power here looking over this. So things suddenly get better. I would say, calling something in that you want, whether that's a role, a gig, a career, a job, abundance, the feeling of being yourself, the feeling of moving into the highest version of yourself. And then you have poised, which again is just a beautiful energy of about to, on the precipice. You're poised on the edge of something. You're poised for the success. It's inevitable. It's coming next. You're again, it's giving like on stage, dancing, acting, somehow producing, even somehow being in the spotlight, of showcasing your talents, of putting yourself out there, and having people appreciate your efforts and your gifts. I love this for you. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this energy. I didn't expect Jack Sparrow. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Okay. You guys are jokers too. Okay, what's next? I'm having fun with this pile. Thank you for letting me have fun. Not that I don't have fun. I always have fun. But lately, in the couple past readings, there's been some really unique energies. And for me as a reader to like wrap my head around them, it's definitely interesting and stimulating. This feels like fun. Like I'm having fun. Like I'm enjoying life. Like you're one of my friends and we're like downtown New York City in Times Square, and we're trying different, little new places, and we're going to the M&M store, and we're just like being goofballs, and we're interacting with the street, theater people and mimes, and having a grand old flipping time. I don't know why we're in New York in this vision, but that's where I went in my mind. Oops. Okay. Woo. So thank you, because I'm having fun with you here. Okay, walking away card 27, and it came in reverse to TBD. And the 6th chakra archangel Metatron also came in reverse, which is your which is my throat chakra catching. Which is your let's try this again. Which is your third eye chakra. I don't like to tell you what to do, but the third eye was one of the other piles. I don't remember which one. So if you felt drawn to that, then you know what to do. If you don't, then don't do it anything. Chicken wing. Card 40. your inner knowing, your inner sight, and the walking away. Do we want this reversed or upright? You're either walking away from something in this new improvement of things, or you're returning to something. Let's clarify. I feel like that's important. Returning to the stage, I heard. Can somebody in the higher realms clarify walking away? Are they returning to something or opening a door or shutting a door? I heard someone say, it's always both, my dear. It's always both. Okay, fair enough. Cleanse. Okay, so I would say cleanse would be walking away, removing something, letting something go, releasing yourself from something. You take that as it resonates. You take it upright or you take it downright. However you feel to take it. Because it could be two meanings. It could be one for some. It could be you're walking away from something in this new timeline, or it could be you're, opening a gate and walking into something, which is why it came in reverse. It could be both, like whoever's ancestor that was that says it's always both, my dear. You could be closing one door and walking into another, which is why I can't figure out if it's upright or reverse because it's both. So we'll leave it at that. And what else wants to come out here for you? I'm having so much fun here. You're going to have much fun. Things suddenly improve and you are loving your life. The energy cannot be denied. You are out to play. You're having fun. You're just fun and fanciful and free and doing silly, goofy things that you love. Not for nothing. It's because you feel it and you want to share it and feel it in your soul. You want to demonstrate lightheartedness. You want to demonstrate resonance with high frequency energies, with joy, with expansion, with inclusion, with freedom, with fun. Fun is so underrated. Fun gets put into the frivolous category, but fun is the most uplifting. Fun and humor are two of the most uplifting frequencies. Like, they can, like, have you ever been in like a super serious conversation or something and someone just makes a joke and it's just so like funny and like it lifts the whole energy, and all of a sudden the energy is completely alchemized because that person had the courage to bring that lightheartedness. Yeah, you could be a street, what are those called? You know, the street talent where you, like a busker, but I don't know if that's like not the right word or term, but people who show their gifts, like they sing or they dance or they mime or they perform like out in public. Sacral chakra, number 2. Okay, wonder what that has to do with anything. It surprised me for some reason. I don't know why. It just did. But that's like your womb center, the birth, creation, could have to do with childbirth, with wanting to be a parent, birthing something into the world, creating something. Authority. We just saw this fellow in another pile. Hello, good sir. Authority. In this new, things suddenly improve. Things suddenly improve and you're an authority on something. Or you feel in control of your own life. People come to you for guidance and advice. I'm clarifying you, sir. Sir or ma'am, Mrs. The Emperor card. Could be Aries energy here. Representing Aries energy. Can you clarify the authority card? What does this say about Pal 4's sudden improvement in their timeline that we're exploring? I can't keep... If you could see my face, I am grinning. Like, you know that meme of that dog who has that like silly human grin? He's just... It's like a GIF on like Apple phones. I don't know if it's a GIF everywhere else, but... Is it a GIF or a GIF? Anyway, that dog that's smiling, I just did that. I was like, like making this big smile like a goofball. Magic. Okay, yeah, so you call, on the new improved timeline, you call things in with authority like a magician. Like you claim it and it's mine. I want it, I got it. You speak with authority. You pray to the universe with authority. You conduct your life with authority. You're in charge of your life. You know that you're at the captain of your ship. You're Jack Sparrow. you know that you're going to come through, you know how to achieve it, you know, you accept the mission and you know how to move about the mission. Whatever the mission is. Whatever the mission is. More on, why do I keep seeing New York? I keep seeing lights. It might not be New York because it could be Tokyo or somewhere too. I keep seeing like a city center with like bright lights. Like in Toronto, I live in Canada, so in Toronto that would be like our Yonge and Dundas Square, like that touristy area where like there's like billboards and lights. I keep seeing you there. Could be like on a billboard or something. If this is about acting or something. You could be a magician. Ooh, because you literally got the magic card. And I saw a lot of like those type of talented, entertaining type of things. Okay. We got inner summer. Yeah, for sure. Inner summer. It's 100% summer energy. It's sun all day. It's glittery. I'm putting inner summer right with the glitter. It's soul retrieval you got. And life force. Ooh, kundalini, vital life force. Okay, let's read some of these. I want to read summer because I think it's going to describe precisely the energy of this new everything suddenly improves vibe I'm getting here. Okay. Inner summer is blooming, opening to life. Say yes, pleasure, joy, tasting the sweetness of life. This is what I saw. This is what I was explaining before when I was saying like you're silly, you're goofy, you're running around. Rapture, ecstasy, adventure, lots of adventure, energy, solar warmth. No, solar. Oh, I was going to say that'd be rad if you got the solar plexus chakra, but it was sacral. Solar warmth, enjoyment, yes, being social, being visible, poised, play, fun. I said that. Creativity, sacral, boom, boom, boom. Ching, 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 ching. It's like a slot machine and everything's lining up. Thank you for this card validating our read of the energy so far. It feels like I've arrived. Things are happening for me. Let's do this. 1000%. Jack Sparrow all the way. There also is the inner winter card on the reverse. These cards have like the polarizing sides and you're supposed to read from the side that you resonate with. There's no way this is inner winter, but you might be coming out of inner winter. You might be coming out of inner winter. So let's read that. Initiation, rebirth, renewal, rest, going underground, the fertile void, surrender, mystery, unknowing, death. The end is also the beginning, union, feels like nothing will ever grow again, a yearning for rest and quiet. That seems extreme that nothing will ever grow again, but you may have been feeling that. So you may be coming out of your inner winter and things suddenly improve, and this is the energy that you start to feel. You may be like, that's a stretch, but heck, it's a timeline and we're reading here. I wonder if we could find out what happens that shifts you there, but you might already be there too. Which part of the card is right side up, inner summer? Which part is calling to you the most? And how can you bring both parts' meaning into balance? Seasons are probably the most powerful teachers there are in the great mystery school of nature. We can experience inner seasons too. We definitely do. And when we're aware of which season we find ourselves in, we'll be better placed to progress through it. To progress through it. I don't know why I read it like that. Accepting the season we're moving into can also offer us medicine and guidance that will help us meet what comes. So inner summer journaling prompts. What's rising in you? Look at this picture here. A golden snake, unless that freaks you out. A golden thread of energy. Kundalini, life force energy. What are you being called to create? Sacral chakra. If you were feeling abundant, all that glitters, a pile of gold, what would you do? How can you say yes to life? What do you long to do just for fun? What's blooming within you? What brings you pleasure? What are you being called to embrace? I love that. Bravo. Bravo for this stinking energy and improved things suddenly improve. This is what I picture when things suddenly improve. It's like, hella yes. It's like yes man. It's like yes day energy. It's like ice cream for breakfast energy. I'm just kidding. That might not be everybody's imagining of a good day, but especially if you're lactose intolerant. Okay, soul retrieval. I want to read this because I feel like this is the. Remember why I said how would we how if you're in your inner winter, how would you shift to the inner summer? Welcome soul retrieval to the table. This card can appear for two reasons. Firstly, because a lost part of your soul is wanting to return home to you. Oof! I felt that in my pit of my solar plexus. I love that. I want any lost part of my soul to return. Sometimes the loss, shame, or hurt we experience is too great and part of our soul leaves our body. Okay. When this happens, it can feel like part of us is missing or as if we're not quite ourselves. Yeah, I could see that. I could see there being super traumatic things where you're just like, I don't know how I could ever shift into the summer again. Secondly, it can be because your soul is trying to get your attention. Perhaps you've been spending too much time living from your head rather than your heart. Maybe your soul is longing for you to listen and express it and spend time with it. This card can come as a warning to wake up and remember the soul. The soul can be likened to both the ancient wise part of you and the divine child within. The ancient Greeks spoke of two different types of time, chronos time and kairos time. Chronos time is linear time, the logical mind, and the time of the mind. Logical time and the time of the mind. Kairos time is soul time. Oof, let's get in our Kairos time. Creative time, mystical time. The word has lost all meaning. Does anyone know that reference? What does he say? John Lovitz on that Friends episode. Oh, what does he say? Oh my gosh, I want to remember what he says. If you know what I'm referencing, then there's a message here for you. What does your soul most, and he goes, the word has lost all meaning, but what is the word? Not parsley. He's like, okay, I have to let it go. What does your soul most want to do? What's your soul most yearning for? How do you feel most connected to your soul? How can you call more and more of your soul back into your body and the center of your life? Inner temple activation, I call all parts of my soul to be here now. I love this for you. And I don't want to downgrade or skip over or spiritually bypass what happened because if you were in your inner winter and if something did happen that caused your soul to disassociate or leave, that would have been extremely traumatic. So I don't want to be like happy joy, and you're like, struggling right now and you're not feeling good. I just want to acknowledge that. But the reading is about things suddenly improve. So I'm assuming you're open to hearing that message. So that's where this summer sun energy is coming from. I do want to read Life Force too. I want to read all the things. But deep reverence and respect for any grief or pain or trauma that you're going through or moving through or walking away from. It could also be releasing some sort of heavy authority in your life. Now that we kind of started talking about that, it could be about you transforming and alchemizing something in your life and releasing its binds on you, its chains on you, its place of power in your life, or its place of control in your life. Take whichever one of those resonates. There is an intelligent, sacred pulse woven through all of life. The sacred, intelligent pulse is within all of living things. It's the life force itself and one of the greatest mysteries there is. When we're connected to that, we're connected to life itself. This card comes with a message of vitality and connection. It can appear... Okay, I have to explain something to you that might be difficult to explain. As I'm reading this, again, I'm having my out of body when I'm downloading, where the John Lovitz skit from Friends, where he's a restaurateur, he's a food editor, and Monica is a chef and she's trying to impress him, but he has some magic mushrooms or gummies or something before, and he comes to the food tasting, a little out of his own body, and he's very out of it, and he's not taking her seriously, and she's trying so hard. And she's making all these super detailed, important, she's calling them amuse-bouches. amuse bouche, like little hors d'oeuvres and tapas and things. And he's not taking it seriously. And he's like eating all of them, just like, they're candy. And then he takes like the Cheerio box and he starts throwing them in the soup. And he's like, grab on, guys. And it's just like so silly. And she gets frustrated because he's not taking her seriously. And and they keep showing me that skit. So I'm trying to read this and that keeps poking through. And then I'm saying to my higher self, why are you guys pushing through this download that seems entirely inappropriate to mention when I'm reading such a serious page off this book? And they were like, that's exactly the energy that's trying to reach this person. The joy and the laughter and the silliness is trying to push through into this timeline so that things suddenly improve, so that you feel that lightness and that laughter. It's like, when you're in a bad mood and someone's trying to tickle you, or like, those shorts people have been posting on YouTube. I'm not on TikTok, but it could be on TikTok too. It's like a trend where one of the partners like takes their smile and tries to throw it at the other one to cheer them up. It's like your higher self's trying to poke through your armor or your awareness to like lighten things up or make you laugh or tickle you or like get you into this silly place. But there's some reverence for you. Maybe you've just experienced like a lot of grief or like a death of a loved one or a very traumatic situation, like I said, and you're like, it's not really funny. Like, stop trying to make me laugh, I just have to acknowledge that's the energy here. And I'm trying to remember the rest of that John Lovitz skit. He says this word over and over, and he's like, dumplings, dumplings, dumplings. Word has lost all meaning, but I can't remember what the word is. But if you know what skit I'm talking about, feel free to comment down below. But the message about that, it's not really about that. It's just the feeling that he was being so silly and trying to kind of poke through her seriousness. And I feel like that's the energy here. It's like you're in your inner winter, but the summer's trying to come through. So now let me read this card. There's an intelligent sacred pulse woven through all of life. This sacred intelligent pulse is within all living things. It's the life force itself and one of the greatest mysteries there is. When we're connected to that, we're connected to life itself. This card comes with a message of vitality and connection. It can appear when we feel energetically alive, or it can be a wake-up call to consider whether we feel disconnected from this force and find a way to make decisions based on what increases our connection to our life force or vital energy. It can also represent a Kundalini Shakti awakening, which occurs when the spiritual energy dormant within the body begins to activate and rise. Shakti is the Sanskrit word for the spiritual cosmic energy of the divine feminine. No two Kundalini Shakti, I don't know if I'm saying that right, sorry, Shakti awakenings are the same. Many side effects can occur, from physical shakings to bouts of ecstatic bliss, from physical and emotional purging to seeing spiritual visions of past lives or ancestral memories, and the processing of what has been dormant in the physical. This card is a powerful one to receive. It's like a bolt of lightning full of activating energy and often indicates a period of awakening and transformation, frequently with physical symptoms. Did you hear the wind just like shake the whole house? The invitation is to align with this life force. It comes with a question. What in your life increases your life force? What in your life diminishes your life force? And the inner temple activation reads, I choose to align my energy centers with the pulse of life. I say yes to that which increases my vital energy and makes me come alive. I recognize that I am an extension of the energy of the earth. Love that. That's what I feel here. It's this golden, sunny, vibrant energy with this thing suddenly improved timeline. And you have this Create Harmony card, which we haven't really addressed much, but I believe that as you shift into this, if this is a timeline that you want to embrace and align with, it will, you may be feeling out of harmony right now. It will create harmony like within your soul, like you feel on your path. You feel like this is what I came here for. You feel like this is what was missing. This silliness, this goofiness. There may be someone in your life who activates this within you, and I would let them, like you may have a friend or a partner who kind of like gets that side of you going, and you might have been like, stop being so, silly. It's not appropriate or whatever. But like my uncle, He's passed now, so he's one of my guides. But we were at my grandmother's funeral, and everyone, and he was always very like outside the box. Like he was always the one who was inappropriate saying something, but that's why I loved him. But I remember I didn't live near him, so we had traveled a distance to the funeral. Uncle Carl, if that is coming out, that was his name, if that resonates for you, Carl. And he saw me. I was his niece, so he was older than me, obviously. Well, I guess not obviously, that's not always the case, but at this case, I think he was in his 40s, and I was in my 20s when my grandmother passed. And I was in the corporate world at that time, and I had worn like a black suit. It was my grandmother's funeral, and like black, pointy, high heeled, stiletto boots, just because it went with the suit. Like that's just was my attire at the time when I was working in a corporate world. And my grandmother was from a very small town. I was coming from Toronto, like big city, fashion. I worked in the fashion industry at the time. So I'm just setting the stage for you about this type of energy that they're talking about. And everyone was very somber, and we got out of the car. We had traveled a distance, and me and my family, my parents and my sister, we were walking towards the church, and I saw my uncle coming towards me across the gravel parking lot. And everyone kind of had their heads down, and the energy was very somber because we were all meeting for my grandmother's funeral. This was before I did what I do now. Actually, get the heck out of here. I just realized he was one of the first I don't know how I didn't make that connection. He was one of the he was part of my spiritual awakening because he was one of the first guides that came to me after his passing, and the voice was so clear I couldn't, deny it. And he kind of helped me explore that inner dialogue where I was like, am I really like talking to you? Like, what is going on? And I would write letters and stuff like that, even though I didn't really have a relationship with him in the 3D, so it was kind of strange, but that's so crazy. Yeah, so at the time, when my Uncle Carl was alive, I hadn't yet had my spiritual awakening or was aware of my gifts at all. He was the first person who made me aware of them after he passed, not when he was alive. And, but his energy I was walking towards him, the mood is so somber, and he just looks up and he goes, no, he just goes, I can't even get this out. He just goes, you could kick a snake in the eye 50 paces with those boots because they were pointy like this. And it took me a second to hear like what he had said. And I realized that he just said I could kick a snake in the eye with the point on those boots at 50 paces. And everyone exploded into laughter because I have never heard that phrase in my life. Like it was the strangest, most inappropriate, hilarious comment to make when we were about to enter the funeral. But it lifted the whole mood. It lifted my heart. It made me feel like this is okay. This is okay. My grandma has passed and I wish that she didn't, but she had a beautiful life and this is okay. I'm going to get through this. It was enough lightness that it penetrated the darkness of that moment. Just like my boots would have penetrated the eye of this fictional snake in his description. Oh, guys, thank you. You beautiful soul, thank you for being here. I hope that this helped you. I'm truly honored to have been in your energy and done this beautiful, uplifting, fun reading for you. If you felt called to another group, then I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye.